CO.
In this seating arrangement we have here, starting with the person who made the call, we go around in order, person by person, with very short, cartoony kind of sounds. And watch me when this is happening. I'm controlling the speed. What you do to get involved in the guerrilla systems is you look at me and hold your fist up. And I say, okay, put on my hat. And then you put on the headband. That means that you are a guerrilla. You can play whenever you want. You can ignore these rules.
The possibilities are endless.
Besides more performances from the free jazz Blue Koi Collective, a legendary sextet headed by Charles Mingus and featuring Eric Dolphy show off the beauty and power of free jazz.
Jazz.
Welcome back to More Than Jazz. I'm Lawrence Koo, and today we're talking about free jazz. We'd now like to invite back the Blue Koi Collective and have them perform another improvised composition.
Like this kind of playing relates a lot to my, let's say, to my kind of living, you know. I kind of stretch my life outside boundaries, you know. I kind of follow no specific rule while living, and this music fits very well the way I experience life. It's just another extension of what I take my life for being.
Free jazz, in a way, you still have to communicate with the musician you're playing with. So sometimes that communication doesn't happen for some reason. In free jazz, you have to be, I would say, 100% focused.
Part of free music or free improvisation is trying to escape or trying to question this cultural context. In that way, I think it can be the most individual musical expression. Paradoxically, free improvisation in a group can be considered the most group dependent.
That was an improvised composition from the Blue Koi Collective. Our next featured artist is the great Charles Mingus. Mingus is known as one of the best bass players in jazz history, as well as one of its greatest composers. He was greatly influenced by the sounds and ideas of the free jazz movement, and was always striving to incorporate new and interesting textures and freer improvisations into his music. We're now going to hear his composition, Meditations on Integration, from a 1964 rehearsal. This also includes alto saxophone, flute, and bass clarinet player Eric Dolphy, who himself was a prominent figure in the 60s free jazz scene.
In the spring of 1964, Charles Mingus toured Europe with a band that is arguably the most virtuosic that he ever played with. With Clifford Jordan on tenor sax, Eric Dolphy on alto sax, bass clarinet and flute, Jackie Bayard on piano, Johnny Coles on trumpet, and Richmond on drums, Mingus had what was probably the best of his small groups. As the leader and arranger, Charles Mingus displayed his uncanny ability to make a small group sound like an orchestra.
Charles Mingus, I think, had a particularly good feeling for the connection of human life and music. What kind of things could be expressed in music? I think Charles Mingus was able to find these elemental sounds and incorporate them into his music.
Eric Dolphy was a true original with his own distinctive styles on alto, flute, and bass clarinet. His music fell into the avant-garde category, yet he did not discard chordal improvisation altogether. Still, the relationship of his notes to the chords was often pretty abstract. While most of the other free jazz players sounded very serious in their playing, Dolphy's solos often came across as ecstatic and exuberant. His improvisations utilized very wide intervals, a variety of non-musical speech-like sounds, and its very own logic. Next up on More Than Jazz, a cross-cultural group featuring Chinese bebop player Yang Jing performed their different songs.
Jazz.
Welcome back to More Than Jazz. I'm Lawrence Koo. We're now going to bring you a cross-cultural project featuring the Chinese bebop player Yang Jing and 3 musicians from Switzerland, pianist Michelle Winch, bass player Bons Oster, and drummer Norbert Famater. Yang Jing has performed in major music halls all over the world. She developed her distinctive musical style through her studies of Chinese traditional music as well as contemporary music from all over the world. Through this combination, she has created a new musical poetry. This is her original composition called Number 48, Qingshu Street.
Yang Jing's music combines a deep cultural background and a comprehensive understanding of music. After 12 years with the China National Orchestra, her solo career landed her on the musical stages of the world.
Qingshu 街48号 is the address of my home when I was young. China is changing so fast. Every places when I want to go back, and they disappeared, and people change, people go somewhere. I often looking for where's the home. I did many cultural projects, and people play in different styles, for example, with symphony, with chamber, with jazz, with duo, with, for example, Max Roach.